Madrid can be incredible, or you can lose entire days without realizing it. If you have 5 days in this video, I'm going to show you the exact itinerary I recommend to make the most of them, with an optimized day-by-day route so you don't waste time or energy. You'll know what to see daily, how to get around, and what's really worth it and what isn't. Get comfortable in front of the TV and get ready to take notes. We are Europa Accompagnata, and now let's get started with Day 1. Day 1 in Madrid. We'll start in the city center. Planning this first day well will make the rest of your trip much easier. If it's your first time, this route is perfect because it brings together many of the most important places in one area, and you can do almost everything on foot. And if it's not your first time, you'll probably want to start here too. We're starting on Gran Via, one of the most famous streets in Madrid. Here you'll find places to shop, which we can come back to later, theaters, and a variety of shows that are really worth it. Also, the atmosphere, the hustle and bustle, and the buildings make it a spectacular place to walk around. We started the day having breakfast at Retiro in Plaza del Callao. And here comes the first travel tip. If you want to eat or have a drink with a great view of Madrid, or simply enjoy the amazing views of Madrid, you can go up to the rooftop of El Corte Inglés. There's no cost to go up, so it's a really good option. Now, let's continue our walk. We pass by the Metropolis building, one of the most iconic in the city, right on the corner of Gran Via. And the first stop will be a viewpoint that's really worth it, the one at the Círculo de Bellas Artes. The entrance costs €6, and from the top, you'll have one of the best views of Madrid. From here, we could continue towards Plaza Cibeles, but we'll leave that for tomorrow. Today, we chose to explore the most historic part of the city, so we continue towards Puerta del Sol, passing by the Church of the Calatravas first. Madrid's bicycle system can also be a good option for getting around the city, starting at 50 cents for the first half hour. Now we've arrived at one of the most iconic spots in Madrid, the Puerta del Sol. Here you'll find Kilometer Zero, the famous bear and the strawberry tree, and also the Royal Post Office with its iconic clock. People gather here on the night of December 31st to welcome the new year with the traditional chimes. We keep walking and pass by the Church of San Ginés. And if you want to experience one of Madrid's most typical traditions, this is the perfect moment. Where are we going now? Very close to here is the Chocolateria San Ginés, open since 1894 and known for its classic churros with chocolate. It's a historic place that has been visited by many people over the years. And yes, it's usually crowded, but the experience is worth it. For many, it's among the most typical things to do in Madrid. All these routes that I'm showing you can also be done with a free tour. As I always say, if it's your first time in the city, they're a great way to get oriented and understand what you're seeing. I won't go into detail about how they work, but remember that even though they're called free, they're not truly free. You make a reservation in advance, which is free, and at the end of the tour, you have to pay the guide the amount you think is appropriate. What's an appropriate tip for a guide on a free tour? If you want to know about how much, I'll mention it in the comments, since these videos are watched for years and may become outdated. The other question I get is, can you only pay in cash? Yes, generally the vast majority only accept cash, so keep that in mind when you go. And now, we've arrived at one of the most beautiful squares in Europe, the Plaza Mayor. This is one of the most iconic places in Madrid, surrounded by historic buildings, and with a very special atmosphere. Here you'll always find people, street performers, and a lot of activity. It's the kind of place everyone wants to visit at least once. When you arrive, you think, I'm finally in Madrid. We're heading now to the San Miguel Market, a place that's almost impossible not to visit. You'll hear many people say it's not worth it because the prices are higher, or that it's only meant for tourists. But after all, we are tourists. And honestly, I would never pass up at least going inside to see this iron structure from the early 20th century. After that, it's up to each person to decide whether to eat or have a drink here. As always, my advice is to check the prices and choose according to your travel style. Right across from the market, you'll also find other places to eat, like the Maison de la Tortilla. Museo del Jamón or Marcelino are also tourist spots, but they could be an option. Let's keep walking. We pass by the Royal Theatre, one of the most important opera houses in Europe, with outstanding programming, and it's right in front of the Royal Palace. It's in the Plaza de Oriente. And as you continue, you'll inevitably come across the imposing Royal Palace of Madrid. But today, we chose not to go in. The idea is to avoid tiring ourselves too much on the first day and save the visit for tomorrow, since there's plenty to see and explore at a relaxed pace. So today, we continued on to the Sabatini Gardens. The gardens of the Royal Palace, designed in the 20th century with a more formal and symmetrical style that contrasts with other, more natural areas of the city. It's a perfect place to end the day, relax a bit, and enjoy the views of the palace from another angle. The idea of this tour is that you can do it calmly, without rushing, and with time to stop at each place. Obviously, this will also depend on the time of year you travel. In summer, you'll have many more hours of daylight, while in winter, the days are shorter. So you'll have to adapt it to your own pace. During the tour, you'll see images of both options, since this year we went in summer, and we visited Madrid again in January. How are you doing? Already tired from the walk? These day-by-day itineraries are available on the blog for you to download. Every night we'll share pictures, the name of the restaurant, and what our dinner cost. But just for your information, these aren't the places we recommend, since Madrid has a wide variety of food options for every budget. They're simply the places we chose to go. Day 2 in Madrid. Today, we are going to go inside the Royal Palace and explore other parts of the city. We were staying in the Gran Via area, but I'll leave all those details for the end of the video. And at the end, I'll also share a little gem for fans of the series Entre Vias. Don't miss it. Before we continue with the itinerary, an important note if you're planning a trip to Madrid. Do you know what's key to getting around without worries? Having internet. Having internet as soon as you arrive is essential, especially for getting around the city, using maps, or looking up recommendations on the spot. On this trip, as always, we used Holafly, which is an eSIM you install before traveling, activate when you arrive, and it lets you have data as soon as you land, without needing to buy a physical SIM card or depend on Wi-Fi. It works really well and saves you a lot of time, especially in big cities like Madrid. You can choose Holafly España, but there are regional plans if you're going to keep traveling around Europe, or the global eSIM if you're going to several countries or continents, or you also have a monthly Holafly plan subscription if you're a frequent traveler. Holafly's eSIM gives you unlimited internet in more than 200 destinations and the always-on feature, which gives you 1 gigabyte per month after your plan ends, so you never run out of internet. You can use the discount code Europa Acompañada 5 for your purchase. I'm leaving the QR code here and the link in the description. Let's continue with the tour. The Royal Palace is truly impressive. It is the largest royal palace in Western Europe, with more than 3,000 rooms, although obviously only a part of it can be visited. Now pay attention to the following information, which is very useful for your visit. The entrance fee is 18 euros, but there are free time slots from Monday to Thursday during the last 2 hours before closing for citizens of the European Union and Ibero-American countries. However, you must bring documentation to prove it, so don't forget. A good way to visit is with a guide. The guided tour costs around 29 to 30 euros. I'll leave a link in the description. But as we always say, these tours with a knowledgeable guide are a great option. The visit usually takes between 1 and 2 hours, depending on how long you stop. Inside, you'll find impressive rooms, monumental staircases, decorated halls, and part of the history of the Spanish monarchy. It's really worth it. And even if you decide not to go inside, I really recommend walking around the area. You can walk around the square and look towards the back, where you'll get amazing views. You also have the option to visit the Royal Collections Gallery, which is right next door. We went there on our last trip, and it really surprised us. There, you'll find artworks, carriages, tapestries, and crown-related historical pieces on display. The entrance fee is 14 euros, and there's also a combined ticket with the palace for 24 euros. It's a highly recommended visit, especially if you like museums. By simply crossing, we enter the Almudena Cathedral. It's the main cathedral of Madrid, and unlike others in Europe, it's relatively modern, since it was consecrated in 1993 by Pope John Paul II. Its interior is quite different from what you usually imagine in a cathedral, with a more contemporary style and colorful details that make it unique. Admission is free, although a small donation is usually suggested. And if you have time, you can also go up to the dome, from where you get very good views of the city and the royal palace. There is a fee for this. We would spend the afternoon walking around Madrid, more specifically discovering the literary quarter. To get there, we walked through lovely areas like Anton Martin. It's a bit of a longer walk, but honestly, it's worth it because you get to see another side of the city, more local and less touristy. The Barrio de las Letras gets its name because some of the most important writers of the Spanish Golden Age lived and worked here, like Cervantes, Lope de Vega, and Quevedo. Nowadays, it's an area with a lot of charm, pedestrian streets, literary quotes on the ground, bars, restaurants, and a very pleasant atmosphere for wandering around aimlessly. It's a great place to explore at your own pace, get lost, and enjoy the atmosphere. And as I mentioned before, you can also explore this area with a free tour, which is a great way to better understand all the history behind it. Instead of this last walk through the literary quarter, you can also choose to go to Plaza España and go up to the viewpoint at the Riu Hotel. Or if you have some time left, you can do both. It's a highly recommended experience, with incredible views of Madrid. However, keep in mind that it's a very popular place, and there are usually a lot of people. The climb requires a ticket, and it costs €10. But as I said, the views are really good. And we're going to watch the sunset to end the day at the Temple of Dabad. What do you think? The Temple of Dabad is an ancient Egyptian temple that was donated by Egypt to Spain in 1968 as a token of gratitude for the help in rescuing the temples of Nubia. Today, it's one of the most special places in Madrid and a stop you can't miss on your tour. Also, from here you get some really beautiful views, especially at sunset. For many, it's one of the best sunsets in Madrid. To end the day, we'll leave you with a dinner suggestion and the full route we took. Remember, you can download each day's itinerary on the blog. Day 3 in Madrid. Today, we're heading to one of the most beautiful areas of the city, where parks, museums, and some of the most iconic fountains come together. We're going to walk along the Paseo del Prado. We start our walk at the impressive Puerta de Alcalá. Yes, the same one you probably recognize from the song. It was one of the 5 old entrance gates to Madrid, and today it's one of the city's symbols. We always see it in images of Madrid. Being there is truly impressive. Take a minute and take it in. Look at it. There it is. From here, in just a few steps, we reach another of Madrid's great landmarks, Plaza de Cibeles. Here you'll see the famous Fountain of Cibeles, which depicts the goddess on a chariot pulled by lions, and the Palace of Cibeles, which is currently Madrid's City Hall. Also, this is the place where Real Madrid fans celebrate their titles, so it's quite common to see it in images of celebrations. If you have time, visit the viewpoint at the Palace of Cibeles for great city views. The entrance fee is €4. And from here, yes, we head along the beautiful tree-lined Paseo del Prado. This route is already a walk in itself. In this area, we are going to make some stops, and you can choose which museums to visit. I'll share information on the top ones. If you like art, one of them is the Thyssen-Bornemisza National Museum, which covers the history of art from the Renaissance to the 20th century. Here you'll be able to see works by artists like Van Gogh, Monet, Caravaggio, or Hopper, among many others. The general admission is around €14, and there are free admission time slots on Mondays and Sundays, as well as some evening time slots. Continuing the walk, we arrive at the Fountain of Neptune, another of the most iconic landmarks in Madrid. This neoclassical fountain depicts the god of the sea on a chariot pulled by horses, and it is one of the city's major monumental landmarks. Additionally, it's the place where Atlético de Madrid celebrates its titles, so it also has that fun fact connected to soccer. As you can see, in this itinerary, we're walking about 3 kilometers per day. If you feel like that's too much, if you're traveling with kids, or prefer something more comfortable, a really good option is the tourist buses, the famous hop-on, hop-off. How do the tourist buses work? You buy a pass for 1 or more days, and during that time, you can get on and off as many times as you want at different stops around the city, which lets you easily move between the main tourist attractions. Prices are around €33 for 1 day, or about 44 for 2 days. I'll leave the link in the description in case you want to see more details. And now, it's time to head to one of the best museums in the world, the Prado Museum. But if you're not into museums, you can skip this part. Inside, you'll find some of the most important works in the history of art, such as Las Meninas by Velázquez, The Garden of Earthly Delights by Bosch, or The 3rd of May, 1808 by Goya, among many others. The museum has an impressive collection, especially of Spanish, Italian, and Flemish paintings. The general admission price is €15, although it's free during the last 2 hours of the day. Taking a guided tour can be an excellent option, since there is so much to see, and having an explanation helps you better understand the most important works without getting lost. The cost is around €30, but I'll leave the link in the description so you can check it yourselves. Just a few steps away, we find the Church of San Jerónimo del Real, one of the most important historic churches in Madrid. Its origin dates back to the 16th century, and for a long time, it was linked to the monarchy, being the place where royal ceremonies were held. In addition, its location next to the museum and its architecture make it an interesting stop on this tour. The wedding of the current king and queen did not take place here, if you were wondering. It was held at the Almudena Cathedral, which we saw the previous day. If we walk back to Paseo del Prado, we come across Caixa Forum Madrid, a building that really stands out because of its architecture, and especially because of its vertical garden on the facade. It's a cultural center that hosts a wide variety of temporary exhibitions, from contemporary art to photography or themed displays, so there's always something different to see. The general admission is around €6. If you like art, there's something you'll surely have in mind when you arrive in Madrid, and that's seeing Guernica, the famous work by Picasso, at the Reina Sofia Museum. The Reina Sofia Museum is one of the most important in the city and is mainly focused on contemporary and 20th century art, with works by artists like Picasso, Dalí, and Miró. Guernica is a powerful work that depicts the bombing of the city of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War and conveys the horror and suffering of war. I personally recommend visiting the Reina Sofia Museum, especially if you're interested in art, along with the Prado Museum, of course. The entrance fee is around €12, and it's free during the last 2 hours of the day, although you still need to reserve a ticket, either online or at the ticket office. Keep that in mind. It's closed on Tuesdays. A guided tour is also a great way to better understand the artworks. This one is also about €30, and as usual, I'll put the info in the description and video post. From here, we keep walking. We are just a short walk from Atocha Station, one of the most important stations in Madrid, with very striking architecture and a tropical garden inside that is quite surprising. It's an interesting stop if you still have energy. And now, we finish this walk and the day at one of the most famous places in the city, Retiro Park. This park is perfect for strolling at a leisurely pace, relaxing, and enjoying the atmosphere. Here, the main attractions are the large pond, where you can rent a boat, and the Crystal Palace, one of the most photographed spots, and also various paths, fountains, and green areas that invite you to get lost for a while. The place is perfect for slowing down after a busy day and ending the day in a much more relaxed way. Let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying the video, or is it mainly helping you? If so, we're going to tell you to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos, and also like the video and share it with friends and family who, like you and me, love putting together their own itineraries. We finished another day in Madrid. Here is the scene and the map of what this day was like. Good morning. Are you ready for the 4th day in Madrid? Today, we're going to explore 2 neighborhoods with a lot of personality, Chueca and Malasaña, a tour that we really loved. From our hotel on Gran Via, we quickly made our way to the Church of San Antonio de los Alemanes. This church is a real surprise inside. It was built in the 17th century and stands out because it is completely covered in frescoes, even on the walls, which is quite unusual. The paintings depict religious scenes and cover almost the entire interior, creating a very striking experience. Admission includes entry to the Monastery of St. Placido, which is just a few meters away, and which we are seeing now in the images, and it costs €12. It's not one of the most affordable visits, especially considering that many churches in Madrid are free. But I'll leave you the images so you can decide for yourselves if you're interested. After visiting these 2 churches, we continued our walk and entered the Malasaña neighborhood, one of the most alternative and unique neighborhoods in Madrid. Historically, it was the epicenter of the Movida Madrileña in the 80s, a cultural movement that marked a period of freedom, music, and art in the city, and you can still feel it in its streets today. It's a lively neighborhood, full of bars, cafes, independent shops, and urban art. It's perfect for wandering aimlessly and discovering charming little corners. Here you can visit places like Plaza 2 de Mayo, one of the most iconic spots in the neighborhood, or simply get lost in its streets. And you'll also find the San Ildefonso Market, where we made a stop. It's a food market with several floors and lots of dining options. Honestly, it's a highly recommended stop. The atmosphere is really nice, and there's quite a variety to choose from. As always, we're sharing here what we ate and what we spent at the market. Just like I mentioned the free tours in other areas, here you can also do one to explore Malasaña and Chueca with a guide. I'll include the booking option in the description and on the screen. Now we're heading towards Chueca. Chueca is Madrid's neighborhood most associated with the LGBT+ community and a top European reference for diversity and inclusion. Over the years, it has transformed into an open, modern, and very lively neighborhood with a strong identity. Today, it's a lively area full of bars, restaurants, shops, and activity both day and night. This is where Madrid Pride takes place, one of the most important pride events in the world, bringing together thousands of people every year. It's a very pleasant neighborhood to walk around, with squares like Plaza Chueca as a central point, something very unique that sets it apart from the rest of the city. As you can see, Madrid is a city of contrasts, life, and movement, one of the European capitals that I personally think you absolutely have to include on a Euro trip. Now we're walking towards the Church of San Anton and visiting the Mercado de San Anton, located right in the heart of the Chueca neighborhood. It's a modern market spread over several floors, where you'll find different food stalls with options to eat or have a drink. The top floor has a pleasant terrace, ideal for relaxing and enjoying the neighborhood from a new perspective. And now we're saying goodbye to this area. To end your fourth day, return to Gran Via and take some time to shop. Places like Primark, Zara, and many other stores are all worth checking out. You can also get ready to see some of the plays that the city has to offer. As I was saying, there's a huge variety of theater shows to choose from. If you're interested in this option, remember to book in advance. Once again, dinner and the day's summary are shown on the screen. Good morning! We woke up in Madrid and it's our fifth day. We said this would be the last day, but as you can see, we're still running out of time because there's so much to see. So today we're going to divide it into two options: staying in Madrid for this fifth day and continuing to explore, or taking a nearby excursion on this fifth day. Let's start first with the option of staying in the city. If you pick this option, you can start your day visiting the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. To get there, today we're going to use the subway, so I'll quickly explain how Madrid's public transportation works. This will save you time and money. The first thing you need is the transportation card called the multi-card. It's a rechargeable card that you can buy directly at the subway machines. It costs €2.50, and you can load multiple trips onto the same card, even for more than one person. So then you just load the trips you need. The single ticket fare is, within the central zone, it's €1.50, and a 10-trip pass costs €7.30. The system is quite easy to use, and it's definitely the best way to get around the city. With the multi-card, you can use the metro, buses, and tram without any problem. The Santiago Bernabéu is a must-visit if you're a soccer fan. The museum goes through the club's history with trophies, jerseys, and iconic moments, and it also includes access to the stands for a view of the stadium. We chose to do it first thing in the morning, so we could walk around a bit more calmly, since it usually gets very crowded. Admission is around €39. The tour is self-guided following a marked route, and it can take you between 1 and 2 hours, depending on how much time you spend at each part. We take the subway again to go to a part of the city that tourists usually don't visit as much, Madrid Rio. It's a large linear park that runs along the Manzanares River. We're going to start at Matadero, Madrid, which today is a cultural center with exhibitions, events, and activities. But in the past, it used to be the city's slaughterhouse and livestock market. From here, you can keep walking and head into Madrid Rio. It's a very spacious area with green spaces, trails, and places to relax and enjoy. Another side of Madrid, a much calmer side. And if you feel like exploring a bit more, you can reach the famous Madrid Rio sign. It's the classic photo that you can't miss on a trip. For those who chose to stay in Madrid today, you can also take the opportunity to visit other museums like the Sorolla Museum, the Cerralbo Museum, the Mint Museum, or the Museum of Romanticism. Another option is to go to the Moncloa viewpoint. And we can't overlook that if any of the days you're in the city is a Sunday, visiting El Rastro, a street fair or market, is a must. Walking around Gran Via and the surrounding area again is always a good way to end the day. And if you're looking for something quick and affordable to eat, you can stop by Cien Montaditos, a very popular chain where the system is simple. You choose from a wide variety of small sandwiches, place your order at the counter, and pay right away. It's a practical option for a hassle-free meal. But now let's go with option B for this day, taking a trip to one of the places near Madrid. There are several options here, but the most popular one is usually Toledo. Toledo is about 80 kilometers from Madrid, and you can get there by train in about 30 minutes, with a cost that usually ranges between 15 and 30 euros per trip. You can also choose an organized tour that costs around 50 to 60 euros. And as always, I'll leave all the information in the description or on the screen. Toledo is a historic city with a very well-preserved old town, medieval streets, and a very interesting cultural mix. It's a very full-day trip. Another very popular option is to combine Segovia and Avila. Segovia is about 90 kilometers from Madrid and is famous for its Roman aqueduct, while Avila stands out for its perfectly preserved walls. Two impressive cities as well. Any of the three I mentioned, Toledo, Segovia, Avila, are wonderful. You can also do it on your own or on an organized tour, which usually costs around a few euros. Another option is to visit El Escorial, where the monastery of San Lorenzo is located, one of the most important historical sites in Spain. In this case, the tours usually cost around 60 euros. And if you want something different, you can also consider places like the windmills of Consuegra,
Cuenca, Salamanca,
or Alcalá de Henares. If you're interested in these kinds of trips from Madrid, let me know in the comments, and we can make a special video with more details about these excursions and others that are available. Now let's cover practical info for your Madrid trip, ending with a special tip for Entrevias fans. When it comes to accommodation, we always choose to stay in the Gran Via area, very close to Plaza del Callao. It's a very convenient location for exploring the city. There are more areas, of course. This is just our choice. It doesn't mean it's the best. It's simply the one we choose. I'll give you 3 hotel options where we've stayed. 2 of them include breakfast, and the other one doesn't. You can check updated prices for your dates using the QR code. And something very, very important. Always travel with travel insurance. Besides being a requirement, which it is, it's just not worth the risk to travel without one. I'll give you 2 options that we've used, so you can compare and choose the one that works best for you. For internet, as we mentioned, we use eSymviolafly. I'll leave the discount code in the description. Don't forget to use it so you can get that discount. And I told you I was going to leave you a little treat for the fans of the series Wrong Side of the Tracks. On this last day, we visited La Muralla Bar and Avantos hardware store, 2 places that appear in the series. We took an Uber to get there since it's far from the city center. I suppose you can also get there by public transportation, but it was summer and we were very tired, so we took an Uber. But honestly, it's really worth it if you've seen the series, if you're very familiar with it. The bar is pretty much the same as in the series. You'll go in, have a drink, and not notice any changes. So if you've seen it, you'll recognize it right away. Also, we met up there with a Brazilian friend who's crazy about traveling, and we were able to talk to the girls who work at the place, who told us some anecdotes about the filming. On the way back, just half a block from the bar, there's what was supposed to be the Avantos hardware store. You'll also recognize the facade, the typical gate. Yes, if you like the series, I think this will catch your attention. I'll leave the exact address in the description in case you want to visit. I'm telling you, it's far, but it's worth going. I'll also let you know what kind of transportation you can take to get there, either in the description or on the blog. We'll leave the link to the blog here, where you'll find all the information and where you can download the itinerary. If you have just 3 days and want to see Madrid's essentials, here's the full guide.
Ca.